Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So another day and another round of free content provided by Twitter freaks. This time, Vtubers are angry about a Vtuber award ceremony that was announced for later this year. Now when it comes to award ceremonies focusing on content creators, there should be only two goals in mind when setting them up. Number one, celebrating the related community, and number two, having fun. Because when you take an award ceremony that focuses on subjective content like entertainment too seriously, that's when things get toxic. But the important thing is to represent the community in a fun and knowledgeable way. You guys remember the Streamy Awards from a few months ago? That's an example of a VTuber award as a part of a content creator award ceremony where they didn't know the most basic information about the VTubers featured in it. But this right here is the latest VTuber award ceremony that people are up at arms at. It is a event hosted by the VTuber Filian. I'm sure a lot of you know who she is. And she is collaborating with Mythic talents for this event. And it's supposed to be an all-encompassing award ceremony focusing on the entire VTubing community as a whole. Now, you can see the number of quotes. People are angry about this. And in particular, it is Vtubers, and to get even more specific, Vtweeters. They are angry about this whole collaboration, largely for two reasons. Number one, they point to the host, Filian, and they claim that she is a racist based on an edgy joke she made about a year ago. And number two, they're claiming that this whole thing is a circle jerk for the largest VTubers, and that the small independent VTubers are being left behind. Because lo and behold, there is no space in the VTuber of the Year awards for a 10-follower VTweeter. Shocking, I know, but there's a lot of angry quotes and I thought we'd take some time to go through them. And we're going to begin with this one right here saying, with the same old 10 to 20 girlies using unfunny humor, misplaced AAVE phrases, and jokes in boring-ass storytelling and cringy delivery on the jokes. Yas, I cannot wait. Ahaha. Yeah, I sense projection on this one. I feel like they're having a little bit of a discussion with themselves, as usual with a lot of these VTubers who get jealous very quickly. But honestly, I feel like this description summed up a very large portion of English VTubers. Like, yeah, there's a lot of cringe and unfunny jokes and forced things, but that doesn't mean that the bottom of the VTuber, you know, the lowest follower VTubers are somehow unique and break the mold of that. I mean, this is true for like every VTuber out there, whether they're small or large. This can fit the description of a lot of different VTubers. But here's some more complaints. This pre-debut saying, I'm highly skeptical about this. Will it really be an award show for all VTubers that will bring together the entire VTubing community? Or will it be a circle jerk of those at the top and the VTubers and Mythic talent? So to clarify, Mythic talent is an agency that doesn't quite function like VShojo, for example. Like, people are not indoctrinated into their agency. They are simply a management group that provides sponsors and other opportunities for VTubers. That's why you have people even in agencies working under Mythic talent. And recently, Mythic has been scooping up a lot of large VTubers. And in the case of this award ceremony, people think they're going to be biased towards their own talents. But this VTuber will go on to say, need I remind, Mythic talent has signed on both Turf Veil and Vableist, so forgive me if I'm skeptical when I see a tweet that starts with VTuber awards with Mythic talent. So didn't we just talk about unfunny and overused jokes, and we're using this stuff right here and still going on about Silverveil? Like, Vebe at least was a little bit recent, but Silverveil as well, like, please. And they go on to say, also, there will never be someone who brings the community together. It is impossible. There are those of us who are LGBTQ+ and minorities in the VTuber community who want to stay away from those who wish harm upon us. Who are you talking about? Wishing harm upon you is Filian? Wishing harm upon you? What about Silverveil or Vebe or Mythic? Like, please show me evidence that any of those people or groups are trying to bring harm upon these people. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. And they go on to say, and to put this tweet about bringing the VTuber community together right before Pride Month begins screams disingenuous and no regard for us who don't want to be associated with the racists, homophobes, transphobes, and ableists of the community. Man, I feel like they could have just added in a few more ists and obes in there, but, you know, nonetheless, I find this very interesting. So, yes, there's a lot of disingenuous pandering from companies during the month of June in Pride Month, okay? We know that. But apparently, the VTubing community cannot do any sort of a community-based event for the month of June, or even a little bit before the month of June or after it, because that would be called disingenuous. And for some reason, this has something to do with Pride Month. Like, I don't understand what this VTuber award ceremony has to do with these groups, like in Pride Month. What does it have to do? When you say community come together, that is not like a immediate reference to Pride Month or LGBTQ plus people. Like, I don't understand. But the final note they made here is also the fact that it's being put together by the same racist Filian who made George Floyd jokes and called it edgy humor. Yeah, nah, this VTuber Awards is gonna stink. So you are correct, it is edgy humor. Are you implying it's not edgy? Because we'll talk about it in detail later, but it is edgy humor, okay? What she said is edgy. But yeah, people way too comfortable throwing the word racist at people. I mean, literally slandering them on a public stage with hundreds, if not thousands of views on all these tweets. But is it surprising that people like this will fling words around? No, it's not. But moving on, here's another one saying, so excited to watch 15 big creators jerk each other off while the racist giggles in the corner, listing off the same winner you guys have every single time. Pretty sad. I hope people boycott. So besides these people, once again, talking about jerking off again for like the 10th time in this video, I've seen how your boycotts work, and if Hogwarts Legacy served as any sort of a example, I hope you guys boycott this ceremony as well. It will serve as another round of great free promotion, and yeah, we've seen this story before. But here's another one saying, ready to see the same 20 content creators appearing we always see in these kinds of things. And you know what? I'm not trying to flame this person, right? Like, there's a genuine concern. Like, are they going to be able to fulfill that mission of covering the whole VTuber community? It is an impossible task. There is no one out there who can represent the oversaturated market that is the VTubing scene. There are thousands upon thousands of VTubers out there, okay? And here's the thing. There can be a 10-view VTuber who is the best content creator ever, but we have to be realistic. Do we feel comfortable putting a 10-viewer person next to someone like Iron Mouse? Does that make sense? Is that realistic? No, it's not. After all, this is an event, okay? Clearly, they are going to try to pull in as many viewers as possible, just like any other event, okay? And they're going to bring in names that people recognize. And it tends to be a pretty logical conclusion that if someone is very popular, they're probably very good, or at least entertaining at some level. So it's not a coincidence that the biggest VTubers out there are going to be highlighted in the same award ceremonies over and over again. It's just a function. Now, I hope they can bring in other smaller independent VTubers. That'd be really cool. But you have to be realistic about this thing, right? And, you know, there's not that many. People keep saying, like, we see this over and over again. How many VTuber award ceremonies have there been? Like 2? It's kind of crazy. But moving on, here's another person. By the entire VTuber community, they just mean the top 20 to 40. It's crazy how they have like the same, it's like 15, it's 20, it's 40, like, anyways. But they might add someone from their own team on there as someone smaller. Sorry if it might seem negative. It's just that this is definitely total BS. Zero interest in this whatsoever. Apparently you do have interest because you commented on their post. Like, what do you mean? But like, man, the conspiracy theories already running that like they're gonna have like a stand-in for the small VTuber representation by putting in one of their own members. Like, please, like it's becoming a bit of a reach here to try to dunk on this ceremony. But here's another VTuber commenting saying, yes, time for the same 10 to 15 VTubers names to be regurgitated through what will probably be the most unfunny show possible. And I doubt a VTuber known for their anti-black joke would be including all VTubers. So again, another racism allegation here. And I think it's time to understand or give context to what these people are talking about. I can't play the clip because, I don't know, maybe like YouTube will bonk me for playing the joke. I highly doubt it, but I'll just describe it to you guys. It's not very complicated. So Filian was getting canceled roughly a year ago for a joke she made on stream. And it began with her directing, she's speaking to her audience, making the Keanu Reeves reference saying, "You're breathtaking, you're breathtaking." And then she says, "I'm pretty sure that's a George Floyd quote." And then she immediately like starts awkwardly laughing and then saying like that was edgy. And then she was like, sorry for that, basically saying like maybe, sorry for the edge, basically. And people went onto Twitter to try to cancel her and label her as a racist because of that joke. Now, is it an edgy joke? Yes. Could it be offensive to people? Yes. But is it anything more than an edgy joke? No. It's just an edgy joke. It's amazing to me how certain deaths of people can be so weaponized and politicized in the VTuber community when others are completely ignored or fine. You have a situation here where you make a George Floyd joke and people want to end your career and label you a racist, and yet you can come on here and make like 9/11 jokes and nobody will blink an eye. And that's where thousands of people were murdered in recent memory, only a few decades ago, and no one would bat an eye. It's just because there's certain events that people want to politicize, and if you make any sort of a joke about it, an edgy joke, they're going to cancel you while not caring about other jokes about people's deaths, okay? And in no point of her joke is she making any reference to his race, by the way. I think that's important to keep in mind. But a lot of people were talking about this in the quotes. In parentheses saying, all VTubers, deaf not, no black ones. Not that they'd ever want to be there after your racist stuff. So again, just like speaking on behalf of the entire black community, this person is saying that you basically better not show up and that no black person would support this event because of her edgy joke. Another user saying, I hope no actual black people are in support of this, especially for that Floyd joke she made without even apologizing. Well, I mean, she said sorry like within the first 20 seconds after she made that joke, but nonetheless, basically this person has decided that, you know, if you're a black person and you want to support this, you're wrong. And this person is telling you what to do. So that's always interesting. But another weird fallout from all of this is that apparently there's a lot of VTuber ceremonies coming this year. We already had the Streamies earlier. I mean, that wasn't a VTuber base when it was content creators, but there was a VTuber of the Year category. And apparently this VTuber, you guys might have heard of Takahata, they apparently are working behind the scenes on a VTuber awards ceremony. And unfortunately, now it looks like things are going to get a little bit messy. And there's no like ill will here, but it was like just to show us, okay, there's multiple VTuber awards ceremonies coming this year. And this right here is an answer to a criticism I give a lot of the VTubers we just covered. If you have a problem with this ceremony being hosted by Filian, well, go out and create your own. And people like this have done it. So give credit where credit is due. This one is supposed to be a Hidden Gems award, which I think is a good idea, right? And it says, small VTubers, I invite you to nominate yourselves and your faves for the Hidden Gems Small VTuber Awards. And there's a form you can fill out where you can nominate people for VTuber of the Year. And it clarifies that apparently the benchmark is under 100 average viewers, which, you know, technically my Twitch falls around that number because I just kind of stream there for fun. So, you know, there's an opportunity for something really funny to happen. I'm just kidding. Do not do that. Do not vote for me. I would not want to be around a lot of people who I know would be very traumatized by my existence. I don't want any part of that, so that's a joke. But, yeah, I mean, if you want to support small VTubers, this is the route. And I'm seeing other people doing this. I just kind of hope there's like one solidified example of this. I think if there's like 1 million of these small VTuber awards, it's going to get really redundant and confusing for people. So I hope this is kind of the main one for small VTubers and it stays that way, but we'll see. But at the end of the day, a whole lot of jealousy is fueling the hate being directed at Filian as well as Mythic and this award ceremony, and I think it's going to be really good. And honestly, at the end of the day, I'm glad we have someone like Filian who's doing this, who's clearly very comfortable and knowledgeable with the VTuber community and is successful in that space. So it should be a good representation of the VTubing scene, and I look forward to it. And it's all the way to December, so if people are going to continue to rage about it, well, it's going to get a lot of free promotion over the coming months. But that's going to do it for this video. Please share all of your thoughts about today's video. I know there's some complicated topics in there, so I'd like to hear what you have to say. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.